Good morning. Welcome to my 5B garden. We're in the backyard of Colorado tulips here, and I just put in some plants, some Proven Winners plants that I got at a combination of the Tagawa Gardens Garden Center, as well as some that I bought online through Home Depot with mixed success. These are the bubblegum pink supertunias. These are some of the, I believe it's called Rockin' the Blues salvia, and another bubblegum pink supertunia. I attempted to get some coleus online, and some of the plants came in and they look salvageable. Other ones were just a complete mess, but you have to take back the whole set if you want any credit back. I also have the supertunia trailing silverberry, and I put 2 of those in each of these side planters along with the Rockin' the Blues salvia. That's there, as well as over here. So we are going to have the kind of the pink bubblegum kind of regular mounding but incredibly vigorous supertunias in this one, and then these 2 will have the trailing silverberry, which is going to be a white and pink kind of color, like white with some sort of pinkish purple striations in there. Down here, there's still some tulips and daffodils and alliums and all that have made it through this little random extra box. Here you can see that gladiolas are popping out. I put just a couple in here, as well as an elephant ear, and a couple of other things, maybe a bleeding heart or 2, just to see what would happen here. I planted them out way too early, but they seem to have survived. And then this here is a supertunia cafe that is gonna go probably in the front yard, but I might pop it in the back. Well, let's show you what's going on in the garden today. The tulips have mostly gone over, the larger ones. The little tiny Lady Janes are in full bloom. The alliums have budded up. The hyacinths are on their way out. And a couple of parrots back here are looking fantastic and just very unique. They are about, I would say, not quite 12 inches tall, maybe 11 inches tall. And then these are probably, what were these? I feel like there's maybe, yeah, I am not sure. I got these at the very end of the season. Maybe they don't quite look like red emperors because they have the black on the bottom. Maybe red impressions. These are the white lion daffodils. So pretty. These are part of the blue mix from Longfield Gardens on the hyacinths. These allium buds are just really coming up. I would say the buds themselves, like the larger one, say down here, is maybe 1 inch long, and overall the foliage is probably 14 inches at this point. I'm gonna pop some flowers into there and try to grow them from seeds. All right, here, these were ones I put in at the very end of the year. They might be spring greens, they might be carousels, they might be parrots. We're gonna find out. Over here, all right, this is pretty neat. So these ones down here, these are some doubles that are coming up. Possibly some angeliques. That's what I'm gonna guess. I'm gonna guess that they are angeliques. You can see they are significantly different in size from the pink impressions that have been blooming for a while, but they're coming in much later. These are what the Lady Janes look like when they're open. How neat is that? Just to give you a sense of size, probably from tip to tip of the petals as they're totally spread open, maybe as long as my 4th finger. The Yellowstone Hyacinths are starting to go over. I have to think of when I'm going to start clipping them. This will give you a really good idea of what these Lady Janes look like as they're open. Right from the top, white. From the side and in the evenings as they do close up completely, you can see those kind of candy striping. And then from that size perspective, I feel like the flowers, I mean, when they're open, they're they give themselves more presence. When they're closed, they look like they're about 1/10 the size of, say, a pink impression. But yeah, I'm liking them more as they bloom instead of just sitting there looking like weedy grass. But yeah, they've definitely put a really beautiful, delicate spin on the back garden that I didn't think. I truly thought that they were just a total waste at first. Back here we have the Apriconas. They are starting to rival the pink impressions in height. I'm pretty sure that these ones are the Apriconas because they have regular foliage. They have kind of the dark stamens inside, although the more yellowish ovary. Back over here, it's probably a parrot back there. I had just popped some flowers back here. These are, please tell me that these are going to be the Aphrodite. Basically the white tulips that I put in back here that I had no sign of for so long. I put in 10. I think I might be seeing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, maybe 6 or 7 just starting to poke up. Yeah, it's been fascinating to see how the different areas of the garden with different shade are coming in. These are probably, what do we have back here? A little bit of garbage that I'm gonna have to pick out. These are looking like maybe the Angeliques. I think they might be. They are either that or some more white doubles, but they definitely have a pinkish tinge. So I'm thinking that these are Angeliques actually. They're about half the size or less of the pink impressions, which are going over at the moment. And yeah, how beautiful. I'm glad I've got a variety of different tulips in here. It's gonna be time to deadhead some of these pink impressions because, you know, even as they go over, they still have color, which I like. I mean, definitely so it's the 12th of May and the yellow hyacinths are, for the most part, starting to go over. There's a couple that are still, you know, that were, say, smaller flowers. A couple of tahiti's back there, as you guys know. In the background, coming out of the ground, we have some mostly salvias, perennial salvias that I got last year that they had gotten a huge clearance, and I just popped them in the ground. They are flushing back, which is really lovely. Let's see, this was phlox from last year. I don't know if it was perennial phlox, but it was a pretty purple. This was a coleus, a piece of the coleus that I tried to salvage from what came in from Home Depot, just so darn damaged. And then even some little snapdragon bits, and then these are going to be some pieces of crocus where the leaves are still left. So, wow, really cool. These are some tulips that are from a few years ago that are still going, you know, that are still perennializing back here, which is nice. The Tahiti, another daffodil, a couple more daffodils that, who knows, we might yet actually see a bloom thrown on them. It definitely is cooler back here, gets less sun than the front yard. The black lace elderberry, interesting how the leaves are, they're like a kind of a dark green with some of them starting to really get that dark color now. It's looking like just the bottom of the plant survived, but it was starting to look rough last year. Hopefully some of these yellow snapdragons will just come back, where you see a bit on the ground. That is a really old hydrangea that never did well. And then these were some of that last planting of tulips that I did, of just trying to get them in the ground in pure exhaustion. All right, I really did not know what this back bed was going to do because of the shade issue, but wow, I feel like it's like I definitely deliberately planted it all in these rows because I had intended to have this be, you know, I was like, oh, if it struggles, it looks terrible, I'm just going to use it for cutting. But it is just so darn pretty that I think I haven't cut more than 1 or 2 flowers from it. So starting from front to back, we've got some little tiny muscari here that are the muscari latifolium, with, as you can see, more of the tulip type foliage. Really love those. These ones are, what are those? Maybe those are the Mount Tacoma. Actually, I think these might be Mount Tacoma double whites. Either that, or they are possibly angeliques that are just starting to get their color, because they do have, some of them have sort of a pinkish tinge, but sometimes back here in particular, it can be hard to tell what's a pinkish tinge and what is just the red of not having enough chlorophyll in their leaves so far. Here again, the Apriconas with the dark bottoms, more of the muscari latifolium, some of the blue mix from Longfield Gardens on these hyacinths. I am gonna have to trim those back at this point. The lily flowering Merlot. This is the one that flowered first about a week or so ago, and it is still looking gorgeous. This is definitely a morning sun location, so that probably helps. What is coming down from there? That might be an allium that I just tucked in at the very end. We've got some white lion daffodils, and some of the Tahiti, which were supposed to be repletes. Not a single one turned up as a replete. Those were from Walmart in these like Susan G. Komen pink flowering flower bags that were being sold like something like 16 for $8, in just these kind of small pink boxes, and so I picked up a number of them. So don't trust that on color, but I'm liking the Tahiti. It definitely gives the whole bed, though, when you have pink with yellow, it definitely gives it that sort of Eastery type of look, like a springtime look, which hadn't really been what I was going for, you know. Although I'm certainly loving the flowers, but it was supposed to be more this color palette of the pinks and rosy, kind of burgundy and white and purple. But yeah, you get what you get, and sometimes it can be even better. Back here, this one here is probably the tallest pink impression that has grown up in the entire yard. That thing's got to be, that's 2 feet tall if it's an inch. And then the sad juniper. Here we go, my wonderful waving willow. And over here, okay, interesting. I think that something has been nibbling this. As you can see, this did not look like this a few days ago. It's an allium, I'm pretty sure. And you know, they say like, oh, rabbits don't want to eat it, but I do have rabbits back here. There's probably a pink impression that I had just popped it back here to see what it would do in this sort of wet, heavy soil. But yeah, apparently it will get eaten by rabbits. I got baby rabbits that have been growing up back here, and they're not following the rules, but it's great. I mean, it's not like I don't have enough flowers, right? I've got plenty to share, and the rabbits are cute. And I'm not growing vegetables this year, maybe 1 or 2, but I just don't have the heart for watching them all die, especially from those big those big black and white kind of magpie-like jay birds that live in the neighborhood and like to come and just take complete and total bites out of my tomatoes and other vegetables. So thank you for coming by. Hey, if my nephew Kyle is watching this, I love you, honey, and I'll talk to you soon.